What is the real estate market doing in Mendota Heights, January/February 2025? That's exactly what this video is going to cover, and I'll be answering questions of what this means to you as a seller. If you plan on selling your house in Mendota Heights, the purpose of this video is to let you know, should you sell now? Should you wait until the spring or summer? How are single families holding up right now in Mendota Heights? How many days on the market can you expect for your property to be before you go under contract? And how are the projected interest rates from now until the end of the year going to affect you selling your house? Many real estate agents will share their screen. They're going to spit out a lot of numbers, stats, statistics, and data and not do the extra step of interpreting that for you as a seller. So that's my whole goal of this video, is not to just show you a bunch of graphs and charts and bar graphs and spit out a lot of numbers, because not all of these numbers are even important to you. My channel isn't meant to overwhelm you. It's to educate you and inform you, so that way you make the most educated decision as possible for you and your family. And so that way, when we list together, you know exactly what to expect already. My name is Ali Garced. I have this channel specifically for sellers in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area. I'm a real estate agent licensed both here as well as Arizona. So at the end of this video, if this video has helped you and you're looking to sell either now or in the summer, or maybe toward the end of the year, the only way to get on my calendar and for us to start working together is to book a call on the calendar link below. That's going to ask you a couple of questions. Please have all listing and selling parties on the call. And during that call, we'll discuss more of the market update, what it is specifically that you're looking to do, and the next steps of working together should we both choose to work together. I want to share my screen with you and go over information that is available to real estate agents so that way you know exactly what to expect. As of right now, as you can tell by this line, it is a seller's market in Mendota Heights. This is actually different from Minnesota as a whole. Depending on which neighborhood you're looking at, some neighborhoods, for example, St. Paul 55101 is a buyer's market, but Mendota Heights as of right now is a complete seller's market. Of course, it's not all the way to the left. That was like, think during COVID times when you could just list at any price you wanted. Right now, it's still heavy seller's market. And if we look further down toward the key details, you'll see that we have a little over 2 months of inventory. That means if no new properties were to come on the market, how many months would it take for all the homes to be sold? That's a little over 2 months. This next point is where a lot of real estate agents tend to go toward, which is, what does this mean month after month, or what was this like last year? In my opinion, and I've sold personal houses for myself, I own a small portfolio of properties, but also as I'm helping other sellers sell their houses, they don't care what percentage was like, if it's up or down compared to last year. Instead, they want to know, what does that mean for the future? What does that mean for me right now? So yes, this is down month over month. Okay, we all know, well, in case you don't know, now you know that during the end of the year, October, November, December of every single year, there are fewer transactions overall. People take off during the holidays and then people pop right back into the market starting the new year, especially after an election period. A number that I find very important to look at is the list to sold percentage. This tells you exactly what kind of offer you can expect to actually sell at. So for example, here, this is very, very common throughout all of Minneapolis, St. Paul area right now. For Mendota Heights specifically, you can expect, if you list your property at say 1.2, you can expect to sell at 95% of whatever you list at. Of course, caveat, there are a lot of variables that go into this, but the biggest thing is if the property is priced correctly. If we end up listing your property at a price that just doesn't meet the market, you're not going to get 95%. The median days on market for a single family house in Mendota, that's what we're looking at right now. We're not looking at condos. We're not looking at multifamily. Single family is expect 55 days on the market. And if we wanted to look at condos as well, condos, townhouses, we're looking at 20 days. So condos and townhouses sell faster than single families at this time. And you can expect to sell at a higher percentage compared to a single family. But going back to single families in Mendota Heights, as we scroll down here, this hopefully should answer your question of, should I sell now or should I wait until the spring or the summer? Again, I'm not trying to just throw all of this data at you without it having significant meaning. So with this, I want to point out the highest portion. So the blue is Mendota Heights, the orange-ish is Dakota County, the yellow is Minnesota in general, and the red at the bottom bottom line, for the most part, is USA as a whole. So as you can tell, Mendota Heights is higher than Dakota County, Minnesota, and the US. Now, what is the highest portion of this? The highest part of the estimated value was in July 2024. Since then, estimated values have taken a little bit of a dip. Again, with that said, after summer, things tend to die down, especially before an election. If we go back, we can tell over here that during March 2024, it actually had a little bit of a dip as well. And the previous high before that were in the months of July. Again, we're seeing a trend here. This is what to expect. And if we go back even further, we can tell that from July to September, October of 2022, it had another high. At that time, it was the record high. So as we can tell, property prices for the most part have been rising since August of 2010. It's been a little up and down, but overall, this trend has been going up. Now let's take a look at the other spikes of what to expect. Here we go. In September, we had a high for that year. This high was in May, and these highs were in January 2015, September 2015, June 2014, April 2014. So we have a lot of Aprils through October, but mainly September. During that time frame, that's just when more properties hit the market. So not only are there more sellers, there are also more buyers. If you need to sell in the winter, I say do it, especially right now, post-election, starting the new year. Buyers have hit the market and they're running right now. And again, it is a complete seller's market. We don't know what this is going to look like come the spring, come this summer. As of right now, for sure, it is a seller's market. You can expect to get 95% of what you list at a reasonable price. And if you wanted to wait until the spring or summer, you can do that, especially if that works best for you and your family. In this next portion that we're looking at right now, for December 2024, there was only one new single family that hit the market. And looking at the highs and the lows of this, we can see that there was a high of 16 properties, that single families, that hit the market in May of 2024. There was a dip of only 2 properties that hit the market in December of 2023. This high over here was 23 properties that hit the market in May 2022. So pretty much we're seeing a trend. A lot of properties are hitting the market in the May-ish area to sell around July, August, September, and people take a step back and they really don't like placing properties on the market come December. So now I want to answer the question of, if you wanted to list your property right now, how is your single family in Mendota Heights going to hold up? That is what this graph will answer. The median list price in Mendota as of December 2024 stats was 1.4. There are currently 14 active listings, to include that one new one from December 2024. The median days on the market are about 96 days. So if you were to list your property during the winter season in general, you're going to expect it to be on the market about 100 days. And if we click on this to look further, you'll see here that over the last year and a half, 2 years, average days on market has been around 75 days. The spikes, of course, December, 93 days. This was February, 96 days. And the lowest months being October, as well as May and June. And over here, June again and August. So to interpret this even more for you, make it as layman's terms as possible, you can expect your single family property to be on the market for about 30 days in the summer months and about 90 to 100 days in the winter months. So if you're not in a rush and you are looking to place your property on the market during the winter months, that's fine. It's just going to take roughly 3 times as long. But as we noticed from before in the graph above, property prices continue to go up. We do not see a market crash coming. Now I want to go into the sold listings, because the charts right above this where pending is here or there, I'd rather go with actual facts. So the properties that sold, single families in Mendota Heights in December of 2024, we're looking at a 95% list to sale price. And as you can tell, this since 2019 has been, December 2019 has been very, very steady, around 100%, of course, except for this one outlier of January 2024. So what this means to you as a seller is, I do not want you thinking that right now is the time to just be a trendsetter and sell more than all of your neighbors. We're not there anymore, unfortunately. I know it hurts, but if we place your property on the market that is listed at the correct amount, we can expect to sell it slightly below. So say we wanted to sell your property at 1.3 million. That would mean that we would list about 5% higher, expecting that we would then get offers 5% lower since that's what the data is showing us. So instead of listing at 1.3, we could list it at 1.365, $65,000 over, to then eventually get 1.3 sale price. I want to warn you though, this is where a lot of sellers then think, oh, well then why don't we just list even higher and just see what happens? Let's just see what happens. I would never want to do that with your property. I don't want to just see what happens, because the longer that a property stays on the market, the more buyers think something must be wrong with that property because it's not yet scooped up. It's 180 days on the market. We no longer want the house because clearly there's something wrong with it. Or they'll see price reduction, and that is, we don't want to become the black sheep of the market. Our goal is to not have any price reductions. I want to market it and price it right the first time. Because if you're going to be listing on the winter months, you're already expecting about 90 days on the market. So why make that even further? Why turn that from 90 to 180 days on the market? Now I want to cover what exactly buyers are looking at with the predictions from the economists in terms of interest rates. Interest rates right now are expected to increase in 2025. In the middle of 2024, economists were predicting that they could get up to 8%. Now it has been dialed back a bit. They're thinking that interest rates are going to be the highest in quarters 2 and quarter 3 of 2025 to see up to around 7.5%, maybe 7.8%. Quarter 1 and quarter 4 of 2025 should be the lowest with about 6.5%. Who knows? Anything could happen, but overall, that's only a difference or a delta of like 1.5%. So it's really not that much of a difference. It's going to be somewhat stable. However, if economists are right and the highest interest rates are going to be during quarter 2 and quarter 3, that's also when the most buyers are typically in the market, which at your price range in Mendota Heights is going to pull out a lot of buyers from the pool. Therefore, fewer buyers are going to actually qualify to purchase your property. So even though in the summer months, you could have previously expected around 30 days on the market, if the interest rates jump up 1%, 1.5%, again, what the economists are predicting as of right now, don't shoot the messenger, that could turn from 30 days on the market to 60, maybe 90 days on the market. Either way, do not expect a quick sale. And in case you have not had a real estate transaction over the last year, or in case you purchased or sold the last time was over a year ago, things have changed with the NAR lawsuits. When I come over to your property, or when we meet over Zoom to talk about listing your property, I'll be talking about my compensation. However, since the NAR lawsuit, the buyers will be paying for their own buyer agent compensation, maybe. Since we are no longer publicizing or publishing, putting it out in the market as to how much you plan on paying or you're offering to pay buyer's agent, everything is now done during the negotiations. So I don't want you to think that just because buyers are now starting to pay for their own buyer agent, that you're going to say, any offer that comes in, that request that I ask for the buyer's agent, forget it, say no. I ask you to keep an open mind because everything is negotiable. What I'm seeing very commonly right now is that sellers are actually still paying for the buyer's agent compensation, although not to the full amount of what the buyers are asking for. So if the buyers are asking for a certain amount, they're maybe paying 75% of what the buyers are requesting. Again, everything is negotiable. So that's the buyer agent compensation. The second thing that's negotiable, there's a lot, I can't cover them all in this video, it's a different topic, but the second thing is seller concessions, aka how much will you be paying toward the buyer's closing costs? And then of course, inspections. Do you plan on fixing anything, or do you want to say, nope, take it or leave it? It is as it is. Overall, for your housing market update in Mendota Heights, it is not the time to push the envelope or try to be a trendsetter like it was during the COVID time period. We likely may never see that again during our lifetimes, but of course, stranger things have happened. I would urge you to be open to all offers and at least counter back or negotiate with all offers. Interest rates as of right now are not predicted to push out too many buyers out of the market. They will push out some, especially in your price range. And for a more detailed plan as to how to list your property to get the most exposure and net the most, since that's typically everyone's goal, is to net the most, not just sell at the highest, but to net the most, book a call using the link below. My name is Ali Garced. I look forward to working with you.